So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist? And am I the antagonist for throwing an insult at a girl who has made fun of me for years? So as always, I want to make sure you subscribe down below with the notifications on, so twice a day I can help you just take a break from reality, relax, unwind, and watch us judge some strangers online, because the world is a crazy place right now. So the OP writes, I'm a 17-year-old male and in high school. My closest friends are this group of 4 guys, and we have an equally close group of girls that we hang out with all the time. One of my friends is actually dating one of the girls and has been for 3 years, so we have always hung out with both of our groups since that. I'll call the girl in question Helga. Helga effing sucks, but has been my buddy's girlfriend's best friend since they were like 4. So that's why she's in the group and not really going anywhere. She's kind of snobby to everyone, but her family is effing loaded, like FU money. She also is quite bigger than the other girls in the group. I'm kind of a quiet guy and definitely not the loudest out of our friends. I also don't mean to sound pathetic, but I get the least girls out of all the guys in the group, and I'm not an ugly duckling, but I'm not gonna say I'm a stud. Maybe she picks up on this, and this is why she kind of teases me, so she knows at least someone feels worse than she does. Now, for some reason, I have a lot of chest and stomach hair. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. I don't really care, and neither does anyone else, but this is a big thing Helga likes to make fun of me about. She says things about how I get no girls because no high school girl wants a guy with a hairy chest, or how I look like a dad and stuff. It kind of sucks hearing, but I try to tune it out. The other day, we were all swimming at Helga's, and once again, she made a comment about my hair, trying to get all the girls to vote that I needed to shave, because she thinks it's nasty to look at. I wasn't having it and clapped back saying that, I don't know why you can't just keep to yourself. Oh, why you can't keep your opinions to yourself. I said I'm sure a lot of people are thinking that you shouldn't be wearing bikinis, but no one says it, because it's not nice. She cried, I got kicked out, and now there's a fight in the group. Guys think I was right to stand up for myself after all her BS. Girls are mad because it doesn't matter how mean she is. You don't insult a woman's body. Then why can she insult mine? LOL, I don't know. Am I the antagonist? So as always, I take the case right over to Decoy Court, where I give you my knee-jerk reaction. Then I'll cover some of those topic comments and the controversial comments. We'll take a brief break, and you'll put your comments down below so we can all do that Decoy Deliberation as to what's really going on in the story. But, I mean, I guess we got to bring this back to Exhibit A on my behalf, where it doesn't seem that OP likes this girl at all. So it really illustrates the entire situation of, like, you know, you says your friend's dating her friend for a long time, and you say that she's rich and everybody's swimming at her place. So it shows that everyone in the group has something to gain from her, and they all passively watch your self-esteem get wrecked by her day in and day out. So she's become so comfortable in her ability to trash your self-esteem and your body that she can parade around and get the other people to join in on the Comedy Central roast that is, you know, OP's most sensitive trait, which is terrible. So I'm not saying this about OP's actual worth. I'm saying it about his perceived value within the friend group, and it's pretty close to 0. Like, if this was Entourage, you're not Vinny Chase, you're Turtle, or, you know, one of those side characters. If this was Sex and the City, you're not Sarah Jessica Parker, you're that extra in the nightclub that, you know, got paid a sandwich for the entire day's work and got no lines. Like, it's probably time to find a different friend group just for this particular situation, which kind of brings us back to, you know, Exhibit B. Like, OP claps back and says something really mean. It's her house, so I understand why OP's being kicked out, but I don't get the idea of, it doesn't matter how mean she is, don't ever insult her body. It's the same mentality that gets people into a lot of trouble later on, and the idea that you've all been online long enough where you've seen videos where someone is physically assaulting someone else and they're utterly flabbergasted when their victim retaliates towards them. And this is very, like, you know, impressionable high school kids. That's why it's not good to perpetuate this idea that, hey, you're a highly valued rich girl, so you get no consequences whatsoever. Like, take this out of her backyard and throw it into the real world. The results could really be disastrous in what she's unexpecting, that people are actually going to call her out on her stuff. But in the end, we only really want to judge OP, and oddly enough, I want to kind of say everyone sucks here, not because she didn't have it coming, and not because, you know, she didn't deserve it and he was entitled to, like, you know, clap back. The idea is that at some point in time, you need to know when to just cut your losses, and people treat you a certain way because you allow it. And, you know, if everybody in this group kind of disrespects you, shaming their prize cash cow isn't going to score you points with anybody. Like, sad to say, if I'm at LeBron James's mansion party and my homie's just sitting there, like, you know, heckling for his playoff record, you know I'm going to be like, yo, shut up, dude. Like, you know, Because if you're willing to take some verbal abuse to be able to be at a party and there's a girl that you hate her backyard, maybe you're not the best person overall. Like, you know what you're getting into. And OP's in an abusive relationship with this friend group and her money. It's time to walk away, and maybe then they'll appreciate you. The idea that you're never gonna be the hero for shaming somebody else for their body, whether they deserve it or not. Part of being an adult is being right and not needing to prove it to anybody. And of course, this whole friend group sucks too. Like, the guys kind of stood up for her, but they let it happen passively this entire time. Nobody stood up for him until he blew up about it. Those aren't really good friends in my opinion. So hopefully OP can learn to choose his battles and find himself in an environment where he can be valued as more of an equal, as opposed to the stepping stool for somebody else's low self-esteem. So that's what I think. Pause the video, take a brief break right now, and let me know your feedback so I can get your knee-jerk responses as well. Then after we go over the top comments, you can kind of update your comment and we can kind of figure out if we've changed our mind or developed what we were thinking about initially. But let's go ahead and read that top reply right now, which is: not the antagonist. Your friends have your back and the girls are hypocrites. Where was the concern about the body shaming when you were the target? Everyone learned a lesson today. And that's what I was kind of digging into, the idea that, you know, it kind of should be you're not the antagonist, but I kind of think everybody sucks here because the friends suck for not standing up for him earlier. She obviously sucks because she's trashing him all the time and just doesn't think that anything's gonna happen. And he kind of sucks because the idea that that's not gonna solve his problem. We're not talking about, you know, are you right, are you justified, are you right, are you wrong? It's, were you nice? I mean, were you mean when you could have been nice? And that's the thing, is he had nothing to gain from it. Maybe this is a part of like growing up where just walk away from the situation. It's over, you know. You don't need these people. You're better than that. But let's go ahead and read a reply from OP saying, because I can easily just shave. She can't just drop a bunch of weight in a day. So that's what they were saying, is the idea that his problems are easy to fix and her problems aren't. But that's not what they should be gauging right now. Like, who's a bigger victim? He can shave in a day, she can't lose all that weight in a day. It should be about, hey, how about nobody in our friend group shames each other at all because we all should be allegedly friends? Like, what's going on? What's really going on in this situation right now? But the reply to that saying, in one day, no, but it doesn't change the fact that she can still lose weight in the same you can shave and she can go on a diet. And the reply from OP saying, LOL, she has been dieting for a few months now. If you consider a McDonald's salad with a McFlurry a diet. So everybody's upvoting this person and kind of like patting him on the back because he hates this person. He's always going to hate this person, and he's always going to have a grudge about it. Like, the idea that we're not actually solving the issue at its root. We're actually just kind of remedying it. Like, everybody kind of hates each other now. There's going to be passive aggressiveness, and maybe they hang out again. But this is just, if anything, going to ostracize him from the group, if anything. So the idea that we know he's a high school kid and he's trying to figure out, am I the antagonist? What should I do? LOL, like, what's going on? The best advice is going to be the advice that's going to get him out of a rut, not like, you know, bending the knee and saying, sorry sire, I will never, you know, insult your body again. It's got to be something more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for right now, but it doesn't seem like this, you know, he can be right. He's right in all these things and everything he's saying, but it doesn't help his situation anymore, you know? And the next reply, top reply, being no, not the antagonist, she asked for it. The other reply is not the antagonist, she's the one that initiated, you just reciprocated. And a big part of this right now was DecoyNoise. Like, the t-shirt should be, don't start none, won't be none. But the idea that doesn't really help his situation. Oftentimes I will want to support somebody in the sense that, yes, you defend yourself. It's always kind of, you're a justified antagonist, and that's okay. But if we're truly, like, you know, an attorney in OP's corner trying to help him solve his issue and get past all the obstacles he's got going on in his life, this isn't going to help him any. Because if anything, he says he's struggling with dating. Well, guess what happens when those four girls bound together and talk about OP and his personality and his lack of girls and how mean he is about people and how much of a misogynist he is about people's body weight. Like, this doesn't help him whatsoever. Him being the bigger person and just getting over it and whatever it may be, that's going to help him out of the situation, not doubling down on, hey man, you're right, have at it. Disrespect everyone that disrespects you because you're right. That's not the lesson I would want to learn personally. But let's go ahead and read one more top comment, which is not the antagonist. You've been putting up with her commenting and teasing you about your body for quite a while, and it seems you hadn't said a thing. So commenting that while she may find your hair unattractive, you find her bikini less than attractive, but you hadn't said anything because it's rude, is exactly how things should have been handled. Men can, and often do, have just as many body issues as women, but get very little support for it. Good for you for standing up for yourself. And here's the idea is, yeah, good. This is good to have all these online strangers all backing him up. Like, hey, man, the internet agreed with me, and I'm the right guy because all these people think I did the right thing. It's like, well, at the end of the day, like the vicious high school bullying and gossiping, and his reputation being trashed at home, that means nothing if a couple, like, that means a lot more. That's more relevant to OP's situation than a couple of people online patting him on the back. And I feel like that's the wrong lesson to do. And the idea is, yes, he shouldn't be bullied. Yes, this is terrible that they're treating him this way, but there's a better way to go about it. There's a better way to get those people to stop bullying you. Maybe find a new friend group. Maybe not having to interact with this girl just because she has a rich family and a pool. Yes, it's unfair, but you'd hate for him to get the wrong advice and just keep going down the wrong path of making him digging his hole even deeper and deeper and deeper. But like I said, top comments are for perspective, controversial comments are for more entertainment, but maybe I'm the antagonist. But let's go ahead and read the top controversial comment, because here's a person that actually agrees with me, saying, everyone sucks here because you shouldn't have gone to a level and insulted her. However, I'm giving you a fist bump because she started the antagonisticness. If she doesn't want to be talked down to and insulted, she should learn how to treat other people with respect. It's not fair for them to turn this into a man versus woman thing, equality. And this is pretty much essentially what I'm trying to take home too. It got controversial, so people upvoted and downvoted because he doesn't have his torch and pitchfork out quite yet. But the idea, it's like, yeah, kudos to you, fist bump. This is probably what you should have done. Hey, this was necessary. This is probably the only way she's going to learn a lesson, but it's not on you to teach her life lessons and make her a better contributing member of society. It's on you to make your high school situation and your social situation as positive as possible. And maybe if, taking the chop in this perspective so you can live a much more fulfilling high school life is necessary. It's like I'm having a hard time articulating how I want to be simultaneously hard on OP and forgiving OP, but by not trying to encourage bad behavior, but also encouraging the idea that, yeah, you probably was good to stand up for yourself. This person's saying everyone sucks here. They're who knows what the real situation is, but let's go ahead and go to the next controversial comment, which is, everyone sucks here. You both insulted each other over things that can cause a deep issue with self-esteem / the relationship with your bodies. She wasn't right, but you didn't have the right to insult her back. You could have just told her to screw off, and you didn't care about her opinions of your body / she doesn't have the right to comment on it. And here's the thing is, he got major negative votes, but there's a way to defend yourself without going on the offensive. Like, hey, shut your damn mouth about what I'm got going on with my body. Like, just because you don't like it, well, I'm not trying to impress you. There you go. That's kind of insulting her, but not really. But, saying that you have a self-esteem, it's not like, yeah, she's tearing me down, I need to tear her down too. Let's be honest with this thing right there, where people are saying, like, it's taking her longer to lose weight than it is for him to shave his chest or whatever. It's like, yes, she's throwing stones at his glass bicycle when she has a glass house. But at the end of the day, that's a much bigger house and much more bigger foundation. Like, I understand I'm giving the decoy defense by arguing against myself, but the idea is, like, her weight loss is probably, OP even admits that he doesn't really care too much about his body hair. It doesn't affect him too much, but her weight is obviously affecting her way more than it is for him. So the idea that it's like, yes, you're getting a couple scuffs, but it's the same idea when an unruly kid is running up saying, like, my nephew, does he punch me? Yes, he punches me a lot, but I'm not going to turn around and just totally wreck him and punch him in the throat and be like, oh yeah, who's the man now? You shouldn't be throwing stones if you live in a glass house, kid. Like, no, that's not what you do, because you realize that he has much more to lose than you do. So the idea is, yes, being an adult, sometimes little kids are going to punch you in the leg, or they're going to wrestle you, or they're going to, throw stuff at you. You're an adult, you realize, hey, whatever, you're a kid, you have a lot to learn. I'm not going to be the one that's going to teach you a lesson, whatever, and walking away because you're better than that. But, I know a lot of people will probably trash me online, like, Decoy, you're a cuck, and Decoy, you let people bully you, but it's all about being a better person overall, right? Let's go ahead and read the next controversial reply, which is, everyone sucks here. Both of you were wrong for insulting each other's bodies, which, who's downvoting this? And maybe they're just late to the post, but it's just the idea that it's like, who would downvote the idea that nobody should be making fun of anybody for their, for things that they're insecure about. But let's go ahead and read the next reply, saying, I need more information. If this girl makes you feel this bad, why were you swimming at her place? And that's what I was also bringing to the table, the idea that it's like, okay, yes, I am a Celtics fan, so I'm saying that if I was at LeBron James's mansion and I'm enjoying his party, I'm kind of a traitor to my own beliefs or whatever. It's like, yes, I'm willing to be like, okay, cool, whatever, like, LeBron James' house is LeBron James' house. I'm willing to party, whatever. This is going to be dope that I'm over there. forget anything else. Like if he says, yo, the Celtics suck, or he says like, who invited this loser to my house or whatever, I'm willing to take that on the chin and be like, yeah, man, cool, whatever, because I'm there, whatever. The idea that I need to be there, and also, hey, I'm going to take advantage of your wealth and all the things that you provide me, but X, Y, and Z, I'm still going to start trashing you. Like, it's a sensitive subject, but I do share the same sentiment this person does, where, yes, if you're at the place and you allegedly hate her and all this other stuff, and she's only in the group because she's dating my friend's best friend or whatever, it's, I don't want to say hypocritical, but it's a little bit telling of, like, you know, where his moral compass is or whatnot. But the reply to that is like, because it was a party, I think. And that's the thing, is like, you either hate the person or you don't. You can't, you know, pick and choose. I like the fact that you provide me with a pool and a place where all my friends can party and a great time, but I hate the fact that it's like, you take them as a person, they're not Chex Mix. Some of the Chex Mix sucks, but if you like the Chex Mix overall, like what this is probably one of the worst, the Decoy's worst, if I ever have a highlight reel, the Decoy's worst inappropriate analogies, it's right there. But I do this stuff on the fly. I really try to provide you some content that is just me babbling, but something that can just detach us from whatever else is going on in the world. That's why I kind of glaze over more serious topics. But make sure that you subscribe, because I want everybody to have a place where, no matter what's going on in the world, how terrible it is, you get a notification at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time that's like, hey, time to unplug from reality and enjoy some just fun. Can we all get together and just have fun and just talk trash? But I mean, as always, if you made it this far in the video, I want to say I appreciate you hanging out with me, helping me feel a little bit less alone. Go to r/DecoyNoise to submit your own story so I can cover that at some point in time. Go to DecoyNoise.com if you'd like to become a moderator on that subreddit or on the Discord channel that we create one day. But if nothing else, put this on autoplay and watch the next Decoy Noise coming up next. I am Adam.